Hello, there we go. Good old OBS. That was not what I had it set for. Anyway, thank God for my daughter. Sure, I would eventually looked at the the chat far enough down to notice that. But anyway, let's see who else here. Galactus, thank you for being here. Appreciate it. Hawk Crypto Mining, again, pleasures talking to you on Saturday night. And I did watch. Shoot, what was the name of the movie? I watched it that night, actually. Stayed up until like 2 a.m. to watch it. The Big Short, I think. I don't know. There were actually 2 movies, and I'm going to watch the other one as well. But anyway, remind me what movie that was. It was definitely very good. It was all about the 2008 crash and who predicted it and all that. There was a guy named, and I did remember the guy's name, Hawk. Bill Dallas was the guy's name. He was head of one of the mortgage companies that did like subprime, but just like A- subprime paper, and he predicted it like a year and a half before it came out, and he publicly stated it. So any rate, again, pleasure talking with you. Yay, Hawk isn't late this time. Good to see you, Fried Electronics. Appreciate you being here. Mike the Miner, MC, CZ Bastard, Travelers Travels, Automatic Beats, S Chang, again, thanks for being here. Nice regular there. TPS Miner, again, thanks for being my first member. Crypto Tito made it tonight. Thank you very much. Integra Guy, thank you for being here. Hodlist Miner, thank you for being here. Unboxing Project, we'll see. YouTube notifications suck, in case you were wondering. Yeah, they aren't always good. Generally, what I've done when I stop receiving notifications from one of the people I'm subscribed to, I will unsubscribe and resubscribe, and that usually works and make, obviously then go back and hit the bell notification. Other people say just clicking off the bell notification and back on fixes the problem. I don't know, but I've been able to do it via one of those 2 ways every time. So try that and see what happens. Gandalf Gray, thank you for being here. Aragorn Strider, thank you for being here. Techman TV, Bacon, Eggs, and Hash, Fudweiser. You gotta do it like good old Rabbit Mining. Hotless Miner, I got you. Red Fox Crypto, thank you for being here. Appreciate it. And yeah, Atomic Star, thank you for letting me know that I was muted, or it really wasn't muted. It just, for some reason, OBS decided to select a different input than I had selected the last time I ran it. Go figure. Swinny, thank you for being here. ABMS Production, Big Wooly, thank you for being here. Let's see if I have missed anybody. Yeah, I know I'm muted. Yeah, we're way past that now. Alrighty, and then of course it jumps down. Grant, thank you for being here. And I think I have pretty veteran miner. Thank you for being here. I appreciate it. Paul Darty, thank you for being here. No, and we actually did think about putting up new plaid. I do have a small giveaway in mind. So yeah, be watching within the next 4 to 6 weeks would be my guess at this point. At any rate, all right, I think little time mining, thank you for being here. All right, if I missed anybody, I apologize. I tried to hit everybody. 4J. Okay, I think I hit everybody. Alrighty, guys. So I don't have a lot planned. This is going to be more of an AMA than anything else, but we'll hit a few topics. Well, that was one of the things I was going to talk about was helium. Helium is going through some growing pains right now. They have implemented HIP 55, and I've definitely noticed on 2 out of the 3 of my helium miners an increase in rewards. So, for example, on here, let me go back to that page. Oh, that wasn't what I wanted. Let me go back. So on my main one at my house, last 24 hours were 0.177 helium. Obviously, that's not worth what it once was, given the downturn in the market, but still 0.177 is a good return in the amount of helium. Another one that I have at my sister-in-law's house is at 0.109. That one typically had been doing better than mine. So obviously they kind of go up and down. They're not always one better than the other type of thing. And then the one at my in-laws house, not doing so hot. It is 0 and appears to be offline. So I'm going to have to tell them to unplug it and plug it back in and see if that fixes the problem. So that's where I'm at with those, but they're making progress. They've had some issues. I mean, if you want to get the full lowdown, check out their Discord channel, Helium's Discord channel. And if I go look there, again, I don't want to dox myself, so I'm doing this all in full screen of seeing my face. I won't say beautiful face, but my face. So if we look at the latest announcements, I do know that they did lower rewards back again. But yeah, they lowered it again. Let's see, what did they lower it to? Yeah, I don't see where they basically, there's a note within the Helium Explorer stating that they have lowered the number of proof of coverage requests per block, again, back down. I don't think they specified specifically what had been back down, but they had got it up to 700 at one point, and I have a feeling they're probably back around the 400 range. But I'm not seeing specifically where it states that. So anyway, but they're constantly modifying, checking things out, all that kind of thing. So they'll get there. I predicted it would take about 2 weeks for them to kind of figure things out, and right now it's been about a week. So yeah, a little bit less than a week. It was last Tuesday when it went live with the HIP 55 modification fork. So anyway, as far as light hotspots go, I mean, that's basically what all the hotspots have now become. They're all light hotspots. None of them actually generate their own or challenges. None of them do. All the challenges are coming from the validators now. So that means that us as hotspot providers don't get paid for challenges, but not a big deal. That's not really where the majority of our rewards are coming from. The majority is coming from beacons and witnesses. So you're basically down, theoretically, you're down about 1%, but in actuality, when they get all this figured out, you'll actually be up considerably to where it was since, like, you know, February, beginning of the year time frame. So anyway, so I'm liking the direction that they're going. I think it will definitely be good for the usability of the network, which should drive the price higher, given everything else being equal. So anyway, I'm definitely happy with it. As I've mentioned before, I like blockchains that are function driven. You know, what do they provide? What do they do? And Helium provides a function for in basically transmitting data, as well as providing proof of coverage or coverage type of things, where saying where certain things are. So anyway, alrighty, let's go back to chat, see if anybody else had any questions. And Sunflower Mama just joined me to my right. So everyone say hello to Sunflower Mama before she pops into chat. All right, let's see here. Oh, Mining King, I see, showed up. Thank you for being here, Mining King. Yeah, Margin Call is the other. I think Margin Call is the one I watched. And The Big Short. No. You're right. Margin Call is the other one. Yes, that is the other one. Okay. Like I said, I was getting them confused. I'm sure I go back to my Amazon Prime, and as I actually bought the movie because I figured this is the type of movie I would want to see again. So yeah, I'm definitely looking forward to watching it again. But after I watch Margin Call, that one looks really fascinating to me, and I like the fact that it's like within a very short period of time, as opposed to The Big Short is covering like the whole broad story of it. All right. Let's see here. Who else? And if you do want to ask me questions, please tag me in the chat. I will be looking at those pretty much exclusively. Unboxing project. Get an RPU for the remote H&T miners. I got one for some LTC miners that are co-located. Worth the cost. Remote power unit. I'm not sure what you would want. Oh, I see what you're saying. Yeah, you know what? That's a great idea. I actually have one. I just don't have it hooked up to that. But yeah, I will definitely do that the next time I go down there. I kind of got away from those. I had them hooked up to my rigs, but stopped because of moving to 220, 240. So those would not work with that. Plus I didn't feel real comfortable running a lot of power through them, but I mean, yeah, absolutely. An H&T miner, we're using about 5 watts. Yeah, that's not gonna put anybody in jeopardy of a fire, that's for sure. So thank you for that. Thank you for that tip. So yeah, anybody else that is running H&T remote miners, it's a great idea. I'll have to send one to my sister-in-law as well. Pearl Rival, can you reiterate your analysis of the LOL dev's opinion of the unlock? Went above my head on Saturday. Surprised Chump didn't say anything. No doubt he was lost too. Okay, so this is on Seb Fintech's. He has a video that he did an interview with the maker of LOL Miner, and great interview. If you have not watched it and you like this kind of stuff, the details of how everything works, to me it was fascinating. I didn't get a chance to watch all the way through it at the time. I just wanted to get to the point where how does the hack work? How did we get it? All those kinds of things. So I want to go back and rewatch it to make sure I got all the details, but this is the way I understand it. So the question put forth was, how did you get it? How does it work? So how did we get it? He asked, was because of the hack? And he said yes and no, because just with the hack, having the actual source driver, it's still like looking at a needle in the haystack, trying to find a needle in the haystack in the driver to say, how can we make this thing, not, start, killing itself with mining. So he said there was also a source. Wouldn't go into detail, and they glossed right over that. I'm sure they probably discussed that ahead of time. Didn't really want to discuss it, but that there was a source that helped them narrow things down significantly. So they started playing around with the timer for the LHR lock. So basically what happens is when the actual driver itself sees the fact that there are memory calls going to the VRAM that look like Ethereum mining, this starts a timer and there's a countdown. And so it counts down, and it gets to, well, it counts up actually, I think is what it came down to. It counts up. And when it gets to that, whatever that amount is, it then initiates the lock. That's in essence how it works. So the idea was, okay, great. Now we know what it does. So let's just reset that timer to infinity. No, it has some things built into it that basically make the driver crash whenever those types of things are happening. So the only thing they could do, or what they tried, was actually resetting the timer to what the actual timer was before. So let's say the timer is 100, okay, whatever it is, 100 milliseconds, 100 seconds, whatever it is. And you go in and reset that to 100 again. It then resets the clock back down to 0. So it keeps resetting it back to 0 every time you reset this clock. So that's in essence how this unlocker is working, is that it's basically never allowing the lock to get to the count up to the wherever it needs to get to in order to have it kick in. They just keep resetting it back down to 0. Now, initially, and you think, okay, well, that seems simple enough. Well, then why the heck was it very unstable when they first came out with it? Well, the reason for that is because, yes, in theory, this is really simple, but it has to happen in a very specific time frame. You can't just do it at any time. So they had to get some timing down in order to bring stability to the miner and have this work. Otherwise, what you were seeing is that driver was crashing, you know, when you came back, your thing was locked. You know, you saw all those things where it would basically, if you had a 3070 Ti, for instance, 3070 Ti would come back and it would hash at about 30. My 3060 Ti's, I think, were coming back at like 24 something. You know, I forget exactly what. No, it was coming back at like 17 actually. So all of these things were happening until they were able to fix all these things. What I find interesting is that NiceHash, yes, they were first, but were they really first, or did everybody have the information and they just decided to jump the gun so they could say that they were first? Or was there some type of agreement? I don't know. There's all kinds of thinking of why they were first. But anyway, that's basically how it was described that it works by the maker of LOL Miner, which I don't recall his name. Apologize for that. But it was definitely a really great interview. If you have not seen that video, you are missing out. Go watch Seb FinTech, that interview with the latest interview with the maker of LOL Miner. It will not disappoint at all. Well, Seb doesn't disappoint at all. But anyway, I specifically loved that video. Really loved that video. So anyway, alrighty. So I hope that answers your question, Pearl Rival. If you have any further questions on that, let me know. Golden Wolf, thank you for being here. Taines, thank you for being here. Bacon, Eggs, and Hash says, my witnesses increased a lot. Yeah, I'm finding the same thing. So I eventually want to get, I didn't get a chance to do this before last weekend or this weekend. Probably gonna do it next week. I'm gonna flop my miner over to the other side of the house and see how that does. Thank you, Atomic Star. Yes, I know that Sunflower Mama, I'm sure, put it in the freezer for me so it wouldn't be like melting on the counter. So AGS, who can become a validator? I don't know exactly what the numbers are, but I remember somebody looked into it. It's like 10,000 helium or something. It's a really high amount of helium required to become a validator. 10,000 doesn't sound as much as it did, you know, a while ago, but sorry, 10,000, that's still $100,000. So yes, it requires a lot of helium to become a validator. I'm sure you could look that up. I'm not sure what the exact amount is. ABMNS production. I highly doubt this is a stupid question and I haven't even read it yet. What are the main utilities currently of HNT? What can you do on the network? Asking for a friend. So they have a number of customers. I don't remember all of them. I know one in particular that I heard mentioned because it was interesting to me was a scooter company, and they basically they do scooter rentals, but with the scooter rental service, they don't actually have a specific place to put the scooters. They can be left wherever. So the next person has to know where the surrounding scooters are. I think it's called Lime, if I remember correctly. But they, I believe, use the HNT network. But yeah, that's another thing. We could look it up. But yeah, they do have a number of customers that use their network for data services. So, and again, are there a lot? Is there a huge use of it yet? No, there's not yet, but it's growing. So, all right, let's see here. Mining King, my helium miner went off. I'm waiting for it to cool down. It's 105 in the attic right now. Yeah, so that's one thing to consider when you're placing your helium miner. You don't want to put it in a hot location. Raspberry Pis can get quite hot, especially if you put it in the window where the sun is beating down on it. I did that once, and it got quite hot. It still worked. That never stopped working, but not the best for it. So yeah, the most ideal type of situation is to put your antenna where you want the antenna to be, but make sure that your actual helium miner is in a much cooler location, which obviously Mining King is learning. Mining King, you get any witnesses or beacons that were witnessed? Acquiring Minds not want to know. He has not had the best luck with his helium miner. Let's see here. Unboxing. Yes, there are 220 volt RPU models, dude. I have 3 of them. Yeah, I do know that there are some. They're just not like the simple. Well, now there are. There's a company. I'm trying to blank at what it is, but there was a company that Chump had talked about, and they came out with a specific 220 volt version of, a plug-in smart plug. So yes, they do exist, but they're very, very far and few between. A lot of the 120 volt models will work, but again, I look at it as a very similar to, I wouldn't want to run my rigs on a plug-in power meter like 100% of the time. It's just not a good idea because of the amount of power going through it. Eventually there's going to be an accident. If you haven't seen them, yeah, do a search for them. There's plenty of fires that have been with those. But anyway, smart plugs generally the same way. But again, for a helium miner, which he had suggested, that's an awesome idea. And then just if you're going to get a 220 volt version or even just a 110 volt version, make sure it's robust because they can burn out. Tim, I am crypto. Thank you for being here. I appreciate it. All right, let's see who else has tagged me. Unboxing Project. He had a source. Means got a guy. Yeah. Yeah, I'm guessing it was probably a pissed off employee that agrees LHR is crapola. So it just was very interesting to me that the point was made and it was just completely gone straight by. I'm sure they didn't want to focus on that, but I just thought that was very interesting. Ibinus Production says they cannot really disclose if they had a look in the NVIDIA leaks, since technically on a legal standpoint, it's IP theft. Yeah, that's probably true. But yeah, he was pretty upfront about it. But he didn't say that he was the one that had it. He just was able to say that he knows how it works. So I think he was careful in what he said. Gandalf Gray. Yeah, again, I just happened to see that, but yeah, make sure you tag me. If you mined Ergo, if so, what wallet are you using? I am actually using an exchange wallet when I mine Ergo. I'm using TradeOgre. That's what I'm using, but I'm not mining a lot of Ergo. So used to mine it a while back, but I haven't mined it lately. And we'll talk about the great hash rate migration when I get past the questions. Let's see. D Miners, thank you for showing up. That was a pretty interesting weekend moving things in and out of a truck with the hip, but it's doing well. Paul Doherty, do you think the ETH devs will delay until near the end of the year with the market down? I don't think the market has anything to do with what they're deciding. So yeah, I don't think that'll have anything to do with it. Will the ETH devs delay until near the end of the year? It's possible. I'm not sure if they will. And I don't think they know. I mean, that's really the bottom line is I don't think they know what's going to happen. They have, if you've looked at previous forks, they get to this point and then they go through each of 3 testnets. These testnets are different names because, well, some of them are different, I believe. But anyway, you have Ropstein, Goerli, and I forget what the last one is. But those are the 3 test nets, and theoretically when they're done with the last test net and doing the fork to the merge on that test net, if there are any significant problems, they're going to roll it out. Now I'm curious, and I actually will ask Tim this question, but he had mentioned that, hey, once we're ready to go, it's 2 months to schedule the actual merge. That's what he had stated way back in March when it was looking like things were going to be delayed. So I'm curious if, fine, we do Ropstein June 8th, we do Goerli 2 weeks later, and then we do the last one 2 weeks after that. So that takes us through about the end of July, about the 3rd week in July, 3rd to 4th week in July. Are we talking another 2 months after that? Or are we talking like 4 weeks after that? So right now, assuming everything goes well, I mean, I'm looking at August, September is when I think it's going to happen. Things have been going well. Yes, they're going to run into an issue here and there, but nothing's been a deal breaker at this point. The only deal breaker I've heard is that they're very nervous if the execution layer right now is dominated by Geth. And if Geth has a bug, there could be a massive slashing event. And this was documented on Twitter last week. But basically what it means is that if Geth has a bug and doesn't really have the right transaction for a block, and somebody else has the right one, and they both basically fork off, you have two chains now. Well, the dominant chain is going to become the actual chain, even though it really shouldn't be. And so there were a lot of descriptions of this, but basically that's the issue, is that then you have the minority chain, which is actually the right chain, in a dilemma where they're going to eventually, in order to resolve this, will end up being a massive slashing event for everybody on the minority chain, even though they haven't done anything wrong. So yeah, it's definitely an issue. Bits Betrippin actually came up and asked the next question, which was, well, that's great, but what if you have two execution layer clients that have basically the same bug because they work together, and then you still have the problem? So it doesn't necessarily completely solve the problem. So that's something that's still being discussed, I think, pretty much in the background. It did not make it onto the All Core Devs call at all. So I'm curious to see where that conversation goes. As I mentioned, I was really busy this weekend, so I didn't have a chance to really get caught up on the Ethereum Discord merge channel. So, alrighty. Hottest Miner, I have a monitored. I am not sure what you mean there. Anyway, no. You are thinking smart plugs. This is made for data center equipment. We use them at the super secret day job. Yes, I'm sure there are some that are way more expensive than the smart plugs. The smart plugs work great as long as it's low power. So I'm going to be using a smart plug for that. Let's see here. Hottest Miner, I have a monitored PDU so that you can remotely switch each outlet. So clutch when traveling. Oh, absolutely. I know that Matt Electron has done a video. He has one where he's talked about that. Yeah, that obviously is the ideal solution. Expensive solution, but definitely an ideal solution. Grant says, don't trust what Tim Biko says. Actually, you can trust what he says. You really can. You may not like what he says. He may not always be right, but you can trust that what he says is actually what he thinks. Honestly, all the core devs, you can actually trust what they say. Like I said, it doesn't make them right. Doesn't make their perspectives right at all. I've said it before. I'm like, they're focusing on the wrong thing with extending the difficulty bomb. They should absolutely extend the difficulty bomb, not because of the miners, but because of their customers. So right now we're at about 13.6 milliseconds. So not a huge difference, but that's great. Then schedule the difficulty bomb delay for whenever you think you're going to get to that point. And I know it's somewhat difficult to predict exactly when a specific time, when, let's say if they said, we don't want it to get any further than 17 seconds. So we're going to schedule a difficulty bomb fork, a diffusal fork for that time if necessary. But then at least you have it in the plan. Plan for every eventuality. Don't just be like, we don't have to make a decision. We don't have to make a decision. I mean, if you heard a company that you had invested in and said, yeah, well, we think it's going to work, so yeah, we're not going to plan for the eventuality. You'd be like, what are you doing? You have to plan for every eventuality. You have to plan for failure. You have to do that. What are your customers going to do? So in this case, they have a very obvious solution. So just plan for it. That's it. And you know what? Delay it till the end of the year And then if it's going to merge earlier than that, then just bring it in. Bring back the difficulty bomb. There's nothing that says that they can't pull it back in. So I don't know. I think the whole thing is crazy. They're focusing on, well, what message will this send to the miners? Who cares? Who cares? Everybody is going to interpret whatever the devs say any way that they want. It just doesn't matter. They need to focus on what is right for the people doing the transactions. It's that simple. They honestly don't care about the miners, and that's okay. We are service providers. It's that simple. So they need to just be like, hey, we're going to shut off whenever we shut off. I don't know. If I was doing a lot of trading on the network, I'd be ticked, be very unhappy. I just don't get it. I just do not get it at all. Because even if we do it, say in August, they're still going to be fairly significant at that point. Actually, I have a chart up here. Let's see. So when we got to 13.6 the last time, I'm trying to find that. It was November 4th. And then by a month later, we were only about 0.2 seconds more. So from here, we're at about 13.6. So from here, at a month later, it's only going to be up to 13.8. So that's not bad. But again, tell your investors, your customers, what your plan is. We won't let it get worse than this. We will make sure that we fork to a difficulty bomb diffusal if it gets to this. That's the message that needs to be sent, and it will help their price. It will really help their price. And that's what they should be caring about, because all holders of ETH are going to care about them. They are holders of ETH. They should care about that. So anyway, all right, enough about that. I've gone on and on about that a number of times. All right, let me see. I know I missed a few up here. Okay, we did that. Yeah, ABMNS. And meanwhile, the difficulty time bomb is still alive and increasing block time. Yes, it is. Veteran miner, I made a video on a 240 volt smart switch at 40 amps. Very efficient, no issues. I'll have to check that out, Veteran Miner. So yeah, if you guys haven't checked out the Veteran Miner, check him out. Another great YouTuber with good content. Hey, good evening, Mr. Baldini. You busy playing electric guitar over there? I'm curious how far he is on he's making an electric guitar. Curious how far along he is. I haven't had a chance to catch up on a lot of YouTubers recently. Tansy, I preach it, brother. Hallelujah. All right. Well, hey, thanks, Hawk. Thanks for dropping in. I appreciate it. You get back to setting up those rigs. I'm sure we will talk again soon. Definitely have to talk about the movie. Alrighty. So what else was on the schedule for tonight? Talked about HIP 55. Somebody else had brought up something earlier that I forgot what it was. Talked about validators. Talked about LOL miner. Oh, Hashrate, great hashrate migration. So with the great hashrate migration, I did not actually mine anything else, but because I was out of town, I just shut everything off. I had some issues with my air conditioner. It actually was working at the time and has been working ever since. It just had a weird issue. I think we finally figured out that it was related to the ComEd AC cycling program, that device was not operating correctly. So not allowing the compressor to reliably kick in. Plus we had the air conditioning guy out today. He said everything looked great, except that the capacitor that the previous HVAC company installed was the wrong size. So he installed the right size, and lo and behold, the big buzz that we had, pretty much gone. So glad that that is resolved and appears to be working great. So good about that. But anyway, so I shut off, and so my 2 giga hash was not mining anything until I got home on Sunday afternoon. And then I immediately ran downstairs to turn it on because the electric prices were finally down. That was the other reason why I didn't mind turning off for the weekend. Electric prices were very, very high. And yeah, at times last week, we had it like 40, 50, 60 cents for an hour at a time. So it was pretty crazy. Definitely pretty crazy. So I keep freezing? Oh, that's not good. Well, let me first of all turn down this so that hopefully my notifications are gone. I know. I don't know what I can do other than the upload must be slow. Let me see what my stream health looks like. And I suspect that's probably... Oh yeah, error. YouTube is not receiving enough video to maintain smooth streaming. What was that? It shouldn't. There should be plenty of upload. Yeah, but you're using download, not upload. So, should be fine. Dang it. Well, hopefully it comes back. Yeah, I see that. Alrighty, well, we'll continue on and hope for the best. Oh, okay. I did see that. I wasn't sure that that was her that said that. Yeah, that's what happens when you come home and start taking up all the bandwidth. Anyway, yeah, it really shouldn't be having an issue. I don't know what's going on, but alrighty, yes, I did watch it. I watched it, watched the movie, what did I call it again? Anyway, the movie we talked about earlier, and I watched it like from like midnight until 2, stayed up late to watch it. No, flux nodes, again, I have 35 at a minimum, and that would still only put me, that would put me at 25. Still plenty of upload. Anybody know if League of Legends has like a huge upload need? I think somebody in the house might be playing League. Anyway. Yeah, it was kind of interesting in the fact that, yeah, I mean, there was a change in hash rate on Ethereum, but it didn't really seem to, from what I could tell, it didn't really seem to make a big change in the payout. So, yeah. Anyway. All right, let me go down to Hotless Miner. All that PUBG ate up your data allowance. Yeah, I actually have unlimited, so that should not be in effect at all. Comcast does not start, you know, bringing down your upload or downloads, or, you know, bringing down your download speeds or upload speeds if you use a lot of data. I mean, that's what you pay for unlimited for. Oh yeah, so there's actually a number of people that have put out HiveOS videos as far as, well, I did put out a shout out, Tains, to Matt Electron for the programmable PDU. But yeah, there's a number of people that have put out videos on how to do things within Hive as far as scheduling and things like that. So yeah. I would not do that to her unboxing project. A DSL line for visits? Are you kidding me? Plus, AT&T is the only one that had put out DSL. They canceled that years ago around here. You couldn't even get a DSL line around here anymore. It's, yeah. And DSL, when it was here, was so unreliable. It was bad. We were close enough to the switching center, but still kind of on the outskirts where we couldn't get the top speed. But for those people that don't know, DSL was an internet product and still is actually used in remote areas. But the biggest problem it has is being able to propagate long distances. Margin Call's the other one I want to watch. I haven't watched that one yet. Little Time Mining. Dakota Miner, thanks for showing up. No, we all did our Amazon ordering earlier today. Actually ordered, now that my daughter is home from college and she's got her office set up in the basement. She's using an area of the basement that I still don't have LEDs for. So got to get some BR30 LEDs that are coming tomorrow from Home Depot, actually. Let's see here. S. Chang, I think last week you mentioned Super Suit, and that made me think of Superman when he ran to strip off his suit. Super Suit? The only thing I think of when I think of Super Suit is The Incredibles. Honey, where's my super suit? Anyway, S. Chang, point two. The running scene was impressive because he had a white shirt, and when his super suit was revealed, it has a strong contrasting colors. Okay. Anyway, oh my gosh, Paul, you are going way back. ISDN. No, ISDN wasn't really rolled out many places at all. We never had ISDN where we were. God, I remember that being a thing way back in the day, but holy cow, you were reaching into the memory banks on that one. Point three, white shirt against red, yellow, and blue. So it had me thinking about Max's supersuit color design. Okay. Well, we're getting way off track here. Tains. He and Yeti did one on how to set up and host your own Hive OS update repository. Oh. Yeah, I knew Yeti had done something on that. I didn't realize that was with Matt Electron. Like I said, I haven't had a chance to really catch up on all the videos, but yeah, if you do want to set up your own Hive OS update repository, check out that video on Matt Electron's channel. Let's see. Lost it again. Yeah. Dang it. All right, well, I'm going to keep plugging away. Point four, trying to incorporate flannel into supersuit is difficult. One choice would be black supersuit with your purple logo and flannel cape. Okay. No capes. No capes. If anybody's again seen The Incredibles. Yeah, I see a buffer real bad. Oh, and it's over. Did it just die? That sucks. It's back now? No, it's not. Oh, I'm still here? You guys can hear me? Are you sure I'm live? What the heck? Hold on a second. That is so weird. Wow. Okay, it's back. All righty. Jump change. Yeah, I was not picking my nose. Thank you very much. Wow, that is so weird. And it's still having issues, but all right, well, I'll keep going and we'll be done soon. Gosh, makes it like we'll be done soon. The pain will be over soon. Anyway, so yeah, I'm glad you guys can hear me. It's the Chi-Town limits. Yeah, like I said, I will be checking on my link to see if I got a problem with my internet connection, because it definitely seems like there is an issue there. I did have this problem either the last stream or the stream before, but I know it's not having anything to do with my computer. It's all link related. All right, let me get through the rest of the tagged comments. I'm glad you can see me. Appreciate it live. Appreciate that. All right. Oh, my daughter's been telling me that the internet has been weird lately. Well, you just got home yesterday, so this was actually the first time I saw that there was issues, but I'll definitely have to do some testing and get Comcast to take a look to see if there's any issues. It sent you to video number 27 and then came back. That's really weird. That is really weird. I'm physically unable to watch live, laughing my ass off. Yeah, so weird. I've got it live on the next screen over, so I don't know. I don't know. Glad you can see me and frozen. Alrighty, guys. Well, I think I will use this opportunity while the stream still is lasting to say thank you for showing up. Apologize for the technical difficulties, but I will be back here next Monday with normal programming where I have more things to talk about. Like I said, just a very busy weekend. Oh, one thing I did want to point out, public service announcement. This has been an increasing scam going on. If you have a PayPal account, your PayPal account may be showing up with invoices, unpaid invoices. They are typically scams. Do not pay them unless you know exactly what they are. But even if you know exactly what they are, do not pay them. Who's charging you? Who's invoicing you through PayPal? You can pay for things through PayPal, but who do you ask to invoice you through PayPal? I know it's a feature, but I don't know. I don't have anybody invoicing me through PayPal, but I had two separate occasions where I had it where it froze, or not froze. I got invoices. So one was from about a month ago and one was today. So I canceled one of them. The other one I couldn't cancel because they had already frozen that account because it was tagged for fraud. So they basically said, wait a few days, it'll be gone. So bottom line is, if you get those invoices, send a note to PayPal and then don't pay them. Just don't worry about it. Nobody can force you to pay an invoice. So just don't get caught in that scam. So there's the max voltage public service announcement, PSA for the day. So anyway, alrighty guys, I'm going to call it a day given all the stream issues, although it does seem like it has, it's excellent condition now. Go figure. I should run out to the box, not like the box in my backyard, but the next leg up, and see if there's anybody messing around in there right now. But anyway, TPS Miner, thanks for being a member for 3 months. Very much appreciate it. Don't freeze. I feel like giving Teaspoon a run for his money with all the freezing going on. Same on YouTube, the bots are gearing up and expanding. Yeah, I know. I don't even know what the heck is going on there. I can't even keep up with it. I may do the similar thing to what Seb did on his channel. He said he was really successful getting a lot of the scammers out of his comments. So anyway, Chump Change, thank you for showing up. I appreciate it. Go get some sleep. Yeah, I definitely need to get a good night's sleep tonight. Yeah, it was a couple nights in a hotel instead of my own bed. Plus staying up late last night. Not last night, the night before. Basically watching that movie, plus then last night staying up late playing PUBG. So won't be staying up as late tonight playing PUBG, but I will probably be on in a little while to play a little bit before heading off to bed. Anyway, thanks guys, appreciate it, and you guys all have a wonderful night.